The last time Wall Street had an information edge this large over retail investors, it was 1997, and Bloomberg terminals cost $24,000 a year. That gap is closing, and it's closing faster than most people realize. 3 AI platforms that didn't exist in their current form 4 years ago are now doing something that used to require a team of quant analysts scanning thousands of securities simultaneously for the specific conditions that precede a repricing event. The question isn't whether these tools work. The backtested data on at least 2 of them is public and auditable. The real question is whether most investors will adopt them before the edge compresses. Here's what they are, how they actually function under the hood, and the honest limitations Wall Street's marketing materials won't tell you. Before we talk about what these tools do, it's worth being precise about what traditional stock screeners cannot do, because the gap explains exactly why AI-driven approaches are finding alpha that filters like PE ratios and EV/EBITDA multiples consistently miss. A conventional screener is a query engine. You define the parameters: price to book below 1.5, revenue growth above 15%, debt to equity under 0.5. And it returns a list of companies that currently satisfy those conditions. That sounds useful. The problem is that it's a static snapshot of accounting outputs, most of which are reported quarterly and already priced in by the time you're looking at them. Here's the structural flaw. The signals that actually precede a repricing event are rarely in the balance sheet headline numbers. They're in the velocity of change across a dozen different factors simultaneously. A company where gross margin has compressed by exactly 200 basis points over 3 consecutive quarters, while management's language in earnings calls has shifted from forward-looking to defensive, while short interest has quietly climbed from 4% to 9%. That pattern doesn't show up in any standard screener. It requires something that can read text, process time series data, and cross-reference multiple signal types at once. A 2023 paper published in the Journal of Financial Economics found that machine learning models trained on combinations of 94 return predictive signals outperformed traditional factor models by an annualized 4.2 percentage points in out-of-sample testing. That's not a marginal improvement. That's the difference between matching the S&P 500 and consistently beating it, which is something 88% of actively managed large-cap funds have failed to do over any rolling 15-year period. The tools we're covering today are each attacking this problem from a different angle. One focuses on signal aggregation and scoring. One focuses on natural language processing of financial documents. One gives you the infrastructure to build your own models. Knowing which one fits your workflow is the actionable insight, and we'll get there specifically. Danelfin is a Barcelona-based AI platform that assigns every stock in its coverage universe, currently over 1,000 US and European equities, a daily AI score from 1 to 10. That score is generated by a neural network trained on more than 900 technical, fundamental, and sentiment features. But here's what separates it from a black box signal. Danelfin publishes its accuracy metrics, publicly, auditably. As of their most recently published validation data, stocks scoring 10 out of 10 have historically outperformed the market over 3-month periods, roughly 68% of the time. That's not a guarantee, and they're transparent about that. But it's a statistically meaningful edge in a market where coin flip outcomes are the baseline for most stock picks. The interface surfaces something most tools obscure: factor-level attribution. You can see not just that a stock scores highly, but which of the 3 subcategories, technical, fundamental, or sentiment, is driving the score. A company with a high sentiment score and a weak fundamental score is a very different proposition than one where all 3 are aligned. That distinction is operationally useful, where Danelfin has real limitations. coverage depth, and lag on microcap names. The model's signal quality degrades significantly below roughly $500 million market cap because the underlying data inputs become sparse. If your strategy involves small-cap discovery, Danelfin is not your primary tool. It's a validation layer for ideas you've already sourced through other means. For investors focused on S&P 500 and NASDAQ-listed names, the practical workflow is: use Danelfin's sector-level view each week to identify where the AI is finding its highest conviction across industries. Then drill into individual names to understand the factor composition of the score. A 9 or 10 with strong fundamental weighting and rising sentiment is worth a second look. A 9 driven almost entirely by technical momentum in a sector that's extended 40% in 6 months deserves considerably more skepticism. Danelfin offers a free tier with limited daily views and paid plans starting around $29 per month. Not financial advice, that's just what the tool costs. AlphaSense is where institutional money has been quietly operating for several years. It's used by over 4,000 enterprise clients, including firms like Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, and Deloitte. The consumer-accessible version is now available to serious individual investors, and it's doing something no screener can approximate: reading. The platform ingests SEC filings, earnings call transcripts, broker research reports, and financial news in real time, then uses NLP, natural language processing, to surface thematic shifts, sentiment changes, and topic velocity before those signals reach consensus. The specific capability that produces alpha, search augmentation across document history. You can query something like supply chain normalization across every earnings call, transcript from the past 3 years in a given sector, and watch how frequently and positively management teams are referencing that theme, and how that frequency is changing quarter over quarter. When language around a topic shifts from cautious to confident across multiple companies in a sector before any analyst has formally revised estimates, you're looking at a leading indicator, not a lagging one. Research from MIT Sloan, published in 2021, found that NLP-extracted sentiment from earnings call transcripts predicted abnormal stock returns with statistical significance in the 60-day period following each call. AlphaSense is, in effect, automating that literature at scale. The genuine limitation here is price. AlphaSense's full enterprise tier runs into the thousands per month. It's built for institutions. However, their individual investor plan, which they've been expanding, brings the core search functionality into a range that serious retail investors can justify. If you're allocating meaningful capital and your current research process involves manually reading 10Ks, the time value alone makes the math defensible. The workflow that works: identify a sector thesis, use AlphaSense to track language trend velocity across management commentary, and flag names where sentiment is accelerating before the next catalyst event. Use it as a pre-earnings research tool, not a post-earnings reaction tool. By the time the transcript is public and you're reading it manually, 4 algorithms have already traded on it. The first 2 tools are sophisticated intelligence layers. Quant Connect is something different. It's an open-source algorithmic trading platform that lets you build, backtest, and deploy your own AI-driven strategies using Python against a dataset that includes 15 years of tick-level equity data, options data, fundamentals, and alternative data feeds. This is the tool for investors who've looked at prepackaged AI scores and thought, I want to know exactly what's inside the box. And for good reason. Any model you don't understand is a model you can't improve when it breaks. Quant Connect's Lean engine, which is the backtesting infrastructure underneath the platform, is the same architecture used by a number of boutique quant funds. It handles survivorship bias correctly, which is critically important. Most retail backtests are wrong before they start because they're tested against the current universe of stocks, not the historical universe that included companies that have since been acquired, delisted, or gone bankrupt. That survivorship bias silently inflates backtest performance by 1 to 3 percentage points annually. Lean doesn't have that problem. A specific deployable use case. You can implement a simple version of the Piotrowski F-score, a 9-point fundamental health checklist developed by Stanford professor Joseph Piotrowski. Using Quant Connect's fundamental data, then layer a momentum filter on top, and backtest the combined signal over a 10-year period in a single afternoon. Piotrowski's original 2000 research showed that a long-short portfolio based on F-score generated a mean annual return of 23% in his sample. Whether that edge has persisted in its original form is a testable hypothesis, and Quant Connect is the tool to test it honestly. The learning curve is real. If you've never written Python, plan for 3 to 4 weeks before you're building anything useful. But Quant Connect has a community forum, a documentation library, and a free tier that covers the full backtesting infrastructure. The ceiling on what you can build here is genuinely high. Using all 3 tools simultaneously without a system is how you end up with 14 open browser tabs and no better decision than you had before. Here's a practical workflow that respects both the signal quality and your time. Start with Danelfin at the sector level, not the stock level. Every Sunday, check which 3 or 4 sectors are showing the highest average AI score distribution. This isn't your buy signal, it's your research filter. You're narrowing 1,000 potential names down to 80 worth examining. Within those sectors, use AlphaSense to run a language velocity search on management commentary from the most recent 2 earnings cycles. You're looking for companies where tone is shifting from defensive to forward-looking, or where a specific operational theme, capacity, expansion, margin recovery, pricing power, is appearing with increasing frequency. Cross-reference that against the Danelfin fundamental subscore for the same names. Alignment between NLP sentiment acceleration and a strengthening fundamental score is where conviction starts to build. For names that survive that filter, and realistically, you're looking for 2 or 3 per cycle, bring them into Quant Connect to test whether any historical factor combination that describes their current profile has produced statistically significant forward returns. You're not looking for certainty. You're building a probability-weighted case. This entire process, once you've set up the infrastructure, takes approximately 3 to 4 hours per week. That's the honest number. If your current process is scrolling financial Twitter and checking Reddit, which, to be clear, describes the majority of retail investors, 3 to 4 focused hours with this tool stack is a structural upgrade. And just to be direct, none of this eliminates risk. These tools surface probability distributions, not outcomes. Position sizing, diversification, and knowing your own risk tolerance remain the variables that determine whether good analysis produces good results in your actual portfolio. This is not financial advice. It's a framework for doing better homework. Before the outro, a quick word on something practical. Once you've done the research, once you've run the models and built conviction on a name, the last thing you want is to give back edge on execution costs. That's why I use Moo for the actual trades. It's commission-free, the options chain data is clean, and the level 2 quotes are included without a separate subscription fee that most brokers quietly charge. If you're opening a new account, right now they're offering a package of free stocks just for depositing. The link is in the description. I'm not going to oversell this. It's a brokerage, not a strategy. But friction-free execution matters when you're making decisions based on time-sensitive signals, and Moo removes that friction. Worth taking a look if you're still paying per-trade commissions anywhere. We started with a question: is the information edge that Wall Street has held for decades actually closing? Based on what these 3 tools can now do for the price of a gym membership and a few hours of weekly focus, the honest answer is yes, partially. The gap isn't zero. Institutional firms still have proprietary data, faster infrastructure, and teams of PhD researchers. But the signal quality available to an individual investor willing to build a real process has never been higher. The follow-up question this raises, and what we're covering next, is whether using these tools changes the market itself. If enough retail investors adopt AI screening, do the signals degrade? Subscribe so you don't miss that one.